So y'all, I have made it to my annual appointment, and this is a gynecologist appointment. So if I haven't said it already, this is an appointment. Again, it's annual, so a very, very important appointment for females primarily. And yeah, she's gonna check some things out. It has been a minute since I seen. This is a specialty doctor, so she does more than just obviously gynecologist. I haven't shared my story, but I think I will. I plan on it. This is leading up to almost 4 years since my hysterectomy, and so I had a actual regular gynecologist, and someone that you just go to for just maybe like up the street, not necessarily. I go downtown. So since I switched my regular gynecologist, if that makes sense, and just went ahead because I don't have a uterus anymore. I had the hysterectomy. The only thing I have left is my ovaries. So going to see her, check things out to make sure everything is up to par. So, and then I'm due for a little past due my breast examination. Not breast exam, to get that checked thoroughly. So have to go get my mammogram. That's what I wanted to say initially. Have to go get that done. But y'all, I'm gonna go inside. I can't per se record, obviously our conversation, but I will be back and let you guys know how things went. Okay. All right. See y'all soon. Bye. Child, these elevators. Okay, I think this is my floor, y'all. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Okay, I think I am going to 2. Nice man over there. Okay, y'all, I made it. Again, I can't record, but these are the lovely doctors in the back that make it happen. So, yeah, I think I have to go to Pod C. Y'all, it's like a maze up in here. So, yeah. I'm excited and nervous all at the same time. So, y'all pray for me. Excited to get this out the way. And happy thoughts. I'll be back. Okay, y'all. So I am back, and I'm back with my microphone. It's been a minute. Y'all, I've been recording. I've been on the go. So if you've been seeing videos with me without my microphone, I do apologize. I'm back from the doctor, and I am going to give you this vlog on my hysterectomy story. I know that you just seen me go to the doctor. So this is my annual checkup from almost 4 years. I'm almost celebrating. In September will be my 4th anniversary since I've had my hysterectomy. And so with the same doctor that you saw, Dr. Tamisa Koithong, she is absolutely brilliant. She is phenomenal. And I'm just going to say this real quick. I'm just going to put it out there. This is a vlog where I'm very transparent. We're talking about hysterectomy, endometriosis, fibroids, all of that jazz, right? So, as you can see, I'm Black. I'm all the way Black, not going to change. And Dr. Tamisa, she is Asian. I believe she's Vietnamese. She's Asian. She's an Asian doctor. But let me tell y'all something. I love Black doctors. I love all doctors. And at first, there's this notion in America that you have to have the same race that you are is relatable. And oftentimes I get it. I just want to be very clear. First and foremost, I am not racist. So, but just want to put it out there. But the stigma in America that got to have a Black doctor. Let me tell you something. Dr. Tamisa is amazing. I don't care if you're Black, white, blue, purple, as long as you can do what you do and your credentials is what it is, I'm straight. So, but don't want to get into that. So just wanted to get first things first. So Back from the doctors, y'all, that traffic. I go downtown, so it's a women's pavilion, Texas Women's Pavilion. I'm here in Houston, if you didn't know. Dr. Tamisa Koithong, but I don't think she's going to be there any longer, but I'm following her. I told her. She broke my heart, but I'm following her wherever she's going. I am going. So I'm not sure I'm going to drop this video, but I'll drop it real soon. I'm telling you, hysterectomy is something else. Everybody goes through it differently. Um, I my story in a nutshell. I'm going to try to keep this video very, very short. It was needed, right? Just like many of you may have questions. I know it's so many stories, but different people, different strokes for different folks, right? So I pray that my story blesses you and you can glean something from my story. So, long story short, I believe so 46, I'm 49. So I had 45, 46. I had my hysterectomy almost 4 years ago, 49 now. And prior to that, y'all, I was in a lot of pain, pelvic pain. Was going to doctor after doctor. Prior to Dr. Tamisa, I was going to a doctor. She happened to be Black, but she was very good. But I needed more. I needed someone who can. Matter of fact, I think my original gynecologist here locally, maybe about 15 minutes away from my house, she actually, once she found out that I had fibroids and recommended surgery, she recommended me to Texas Women's Pavilion, and so I so happened to get Dr. Tamisa. So fast forward, it was just a lot of pain, a lot of bleeding, and then uh, did the ultrasound, then followed by, I want to say they did a CAT scan, because with the ultrasound, sometimes the ultrasound can't catch everything, so they recommend a CAT scan if you want it. So I said, look, whatever y'all need to do, I'm in pain. Just do what you got to do. And so fast forward, they scheduled surgery. I saw Dr. Tamisa when I first met her. She was in my face. What can I do for you? How can I help? Your symptoms, how long you had it, blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. So, and mind you, didn't know she has 2 children now, but at the time, she was pregnant with child, y'all. Pregnant with child. And y'all ladies know how it is. When you pregnant, I mean, you just ready to go home, right? So leading up to the surgery, I mean, she was just hands on. She texts me, just anything all my questions. She was very consistent, and so I will say, if you have a doctor that's consistent, that's caring, um, keep her or him. They are a keeper, and so did my prep, all of that good stuff. I don't know if I'll insert, probably. If not, whatever. But I'll try to insert the little picture, me in the bed, getting ready. So they prep you, they let me see. I think you get blood work and all the good stuff. Make sure you're good. Y'all know how it is, surgery. And the morning of it's very, very early. So I think the surgery, don't quote me on this, was maybe 2 hours, maybe just a little bit more, because when they went in, I didn't know I had endometriosis. So, you sign the documents and stuff like that, and saying that if they find anything, are you okay with them, you know, taking whatever it is from your womb out that could possibly harm you, or further, will have complications, right? And so I said, sure. If I trusted her, I prayed about it, was comfortable. I had a peace about this doctor and in her team. And so, and also there's teams of doctors, they talk to you before this whole thing goes down. And so, y'all, before I know it, your sister was down. They drugged me up. They gave me pills. And next thing you know, y'all, I was hurting. I think, to be honest, that um, the recovery process was um, the worst than actually the surgery. Obviously, you're asleep, And it's just I was walking like an old lady, y'all. Like that first couple days, that first I say 1 to 2 weeks, because you got to realize they took those fibroids. They also took the endometriosis. Endometriosis, for y'all don't understand what I'm not a doctor, so whatever I'm saying, don't quote me on everything, but I'm just telling you what I know, right? And then from my checkups and all that. Um, Endometriosis is the endometrium lining. If I'm saying that right, if a doctor or nurse is watching this, um, that is like the lining of the uterus, but it's going outside. For some reason, it goes outside the uterus where it's not supposed to. And sometimes that lining, that endometrium lining, it can spread to other organs, right? It can spread to your other organs in your room and all over. And so I think it can even spread as far as your lungs. I'm not sure, but I know it can spread. So these checkups over time, which I will get forever as long as I live, I still have my ovaries. That's the only thing I have. They took away my fallopian tubes, my cervix, and my uterus. So I have my ovaries. And so what she told me today is, so she's checking those ovaries every year to make sure that nothing has spread, because I still get the bloating, right? So that's why I said I'm an endo warrior, because going through endometriosis and making sure there's nothing that's still there. So to be honest, this is my first ultrasound um checking my ovaries since almost 4 years ago, right? Um because I didn't have the bleeding anymore. I had the pelvic pain, but I went to physical therapy for a short time, because I'm gonna tell y'all, the physical therapy is because what happens is that your uterus right here, um it is kind of like you don't have a uterus obviously anymore if you're get that uterus taken away, but it's like your uterus used to keep that pelvic up. So now it's tilted, right? It's like your body is tilted. So you have to go to physical therapy, do those hip flexors and all these exercises to keep those that pelvic area strong. And so that's why you see my videos, I work out. I do a lot of not high intensity muscle training or toning, but just enough to keep and stay strong. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, ladies, I'm talking to the ladies. As you get older, anyway, your muscle mass, your muscles, um, I believe they shorten, right? And so you need to keep those bones strong. You need to keep your vitamin B. The things that I've ate, if you have a questions like, what did you eat? I can hardly eat anything, y'all. I could hardly go to the bathroom. And one of the other things I remember is that I could not pee. And that's one of the side effects of the surgery, y'all, because they going through nerves. She's taking that endometriosis. I think it had spread it to my fallopian tubes. She was going to get rid of that anyway, but she got rid as much as she could. So make sure you stay with your checkups. And then also, what else? I was a few days after, and thank God for a shout out to my first cousin who's here with me, and she is a nurse practitioner. So she knew I had the surgery. So she stopped by. My husband wasn't here. Long story short. And I began to develop into a blood clot. So sometimes you can develop a blood clot, and so fast forward, husband wasn't here, and she's like, no, you look puffy. I was retaining a lot of inflammation, and so she took me to the emergency room. And so when we got there, they did all the vitals and stuff like that. And y'all, they did a ultrasound on me, the vaginal ultrasound, the one that go down in a vajayjay. And y'all, I was in so much pain, because remember, I'm still, my womb is fresh and everything's trying to get back into place, and all of that jazz, right? And so, y'all, I was so sore, but I was developing a blood clot, and so they gave me some the blood clot thinner I think warfarin or whatever. So they gave me uh, a prescription to that, and so I was developing it a little bit. So, well, I was developing it, but it wasn't nothing that would cause for me to stay or admit me in the hospital. But blood clots can happen in any surgery. Again, they're poking nerves and blood vessels and all that good stuff. So, just want to make you aware of that there's always a risk for any type of surgery, but especially y'all when they're going in that womb. So yeah, but I'm telling you, just drink a lot of peppermint tea is good. Peppermint tea, a lot of that constipation, because again, they're poking, they're moving around in spaces, that your body's not accustomed to. So and then also with that medicine, you're out for two hours or a little bit more. And your body's just going through so much. So y'all just, be patient with yourself. Be patient. The recovery was not easy. I think um I really didn't get to start walking normally, like like walking regular like a normal person, until about week 2. Y'all, I was in pain. I mean, that didn't have a uterus, didn't have but my body was just trying to get back to where it needed to be. And so it takes time. So really be patient with yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'm putting as much as I can out there to be a support. Everybody's story is different. I didn't fully bounce back to about wasn't working at the time. So my husband, just put it this way, my husband, he initially was going to take maybe 4 weeks off. He took an additional 2 weeks because I needed that, brother. I did. And thank God he was able to take that time off. So I would say support system is key. Support system is so key. So hopefully you have, your husband, a cousin, an auntie, a mother, somebody, a daughter, that will help you and aid you along the way. Support is key. So, hey, I'm here for you, girl. His the sister and Endo Warrior. And so, also with the eating slowly, like I said, peppermint tea. I had that first week soup, really couldn't have anything solid. Lost a little bit of weight, but child, I gained it back. I gained it back because you do, like I said, with the inflammation, the bloating, and all that stuff. That's pretty normal. But again, if you have anything like the blood clot and that inflammation, you see like form a blood clot or anything like that, talk to somebody. Call not talk to somebody, but call the emergency room and tell someone that you trust. Hey, listen, we need to go emergency room because something don't feel right, something don't look right. And it's better to call the doctor, call the emergency room to go there. Better be safe than sorry, right? So, but yeah, y'all, almost 4 years later, three and a half, doing well. It's work though. I mean, right now I'm sitting at I'm 5'3", so I'm sitting at 176 or 174 pounds ish, but that's with muscle mass. That's a lot. Again, I'm 49, so I'm going through perimenopause. And if you ladies who have been through perimenopause, menopause, your body fluctuates, right? And I'm good with that. You have to be good in your own skin, right? You have to be good in your own skin. And so, yeah, y'all, I'm not going to make this video too long, just enough to give back and say, hey, this is my story. Got through it. Find a good doctor, someone you trust. But if you're in the Houston, Texas area, Dr. Tamisa Koithong. I'll put her name up there on the screen. I'll insert that. But again, she's moving from Texas Children's Pavilion for Women to another space in Houston. I'm not sure where, but I have her information. And yeah, y'all just keep following me. And if any questions that you have, I am here to answer as best as I can. Again, I am not a certified doctor, but guess what? I've been through it. So everybody's story is different. And yeah. And make sure y'all share this. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't have anything else. Y'all just stay consistent. If you're working out, if you're going through it, about to go through it, be patient with yourself. Again, it was easy for me, easy decision, because I had my children. My children are older now, and so didn't plan on having any children. And I was just ready to get this pain just out the way. And there's other, I do know, in if you have fibroids, there is, I forget what it's called, I forget the actual medical name for it, but you can get fibroid removal if you're still trying to have kids. So, it's kind of tough having fibroids and having children. But if you don't want to get a hysterectomy, you can get that fibroid removal, and just talk to your doctor. They know what to do. Talk to a specialist. So, but yeah, and then fellas, who those who are married, fellas, I'm telling you, stay close, stay patient to your wife, stay prayerful. A lot of times I felt like, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like I was dying, and I was like, Jesus, if you just got to call on Jesus, 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 that is the stamp that will get you through it. Even, you got your husband, you got whoever praying for you, church members, whatever, but it's nothing like calling on the name of Jesus. I am not scared to say it, and I'm gonna tell you, there was many, many nights that the name of Jesus got me through it, right? So, I'm not trying to have a sermon, nothing like that. But y'all, I'm telling you, everybody's story is different. But hey, you gonna get through it. I'm here for you. And any questions, feel free to DM me. That's all I have, y'all. That's all I have. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all stay tuned for more videos. Bye.